Hey y'all, it's K Divine on the road again. I'm stuck in traffic, so I felt like this was probably a good opportunity while there's still light outside, since I usually don't get out of work these days before it gets dark, now that it's winter time. But I was just thinking, people really be out here taking your kindness for weakness, and it's so sad to me because your kindness is a superpower. And I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but it's really rare to find people who are genuinely kind. Because just like I was telling y'all in one of my last videos, like, people play nice with you, and then like they passive aggressive attitude or they true colors really come out. And then it's like, okay, but you don't do stuff like that. Like, if you don't fuck with somebody like that, you leave them alone. If you have to speak to them, you keep it professional, you keep it very short, sweet, and to the point, and you keep it pushing. But there's a lot of people out here who play nice, and then when they get upset, you really see who they are, and then they be trying to invoke some sort of reaction out of you so that they can be like, well, everybody's like that. And it's like, no, my kindness is universal. It's all the time. And it's like the only time that I feel like I really gotta go off on somebody is if it comes down to my baby. That will probably be the time. If I flash out for any reason, it will probably be over my daughter. Because I don't play by my kids. So it's like, when I see people playing with these playing with people like y'all, it really bothers me. Because you know what, you really know what it is, because people be playing themselves out of a good person. They play themselves out of having someone who was actually reliable, simply because they could not deal with their own emotions, because they lack the emotional intelligence in order to deal with whatever feelings that they're having towards you. Which is so crazy to me, because I will say this 1,000 times over, like, your feelings are your responsibility, period. Just like my feelings are my responsibility. So it's like, people be feeling like because they feel some type of way about you, that you have to participate in it with them. Or people be expecting you to like explain yourself and like beg for their approval or something. And it's like, I don't have to grovel at your feet. Who are you to me? And it's like, and if you don't like me, don't talk to me. Because I told y'all about the manager that trained me at this store that I was at for 5 weeks. And I told y'all, like, at the end, like, he showed his true colors and just was like real passive aggressive. And I was just like, okay, like, I'm not gonna give him what he wants. I'm not going to I'm not going to give him back the same energy. I'm gonna keep it professional, and I'm just gonna keep moving. So yesterday, which I have a feeling it was because I got a phone call in the middle of my shift, but he texted me yesterday. So this was my second day, or yesterday was my second day at my new store. And all of the general managers were in a meeting in Lansing. So I think that he probably heard about me having to go to one of the other stores to help them out for a little bit. And he prompted to text me. And honestly, my intuition told me the only reason why he's texting you is because he wants to see if you're going to complain. And this is the stuff I'm talking about. Because otherwise, like, I mean, our communication for the most part throughout my training, like, he's never really cared about checking in. Like, he never really, I mean, he asked towards the end, like, how did you think that your training went? But, like, throughout my training, he never sat there and was like, checking in with me, like, hey, I wasn't there today, just want to see if, like, he wasn't doing any of that. So me being gone for 2 days, and me starting at my new store, texting me. Like, hey, I just wanted to check in and see how things are going. And I'm like, my whole spirit was just like, you looking for information. Because like I said, he probably heard about me being called over to the other store. And like I said, I feel like he was looking for me to complain and be like, oh my God, they're already sending me over to the other stores to help out. And I was just like, everything's good. Thanks for checking. Like, you know, I kept it real cute because I'm like, nah, you ain't finna catch me slipping. This is why I'm telling y'all, people really do be doing weird ass shit like that all the time. Especially when you know how somebody feels about you. Because it's like, if you were being passive aggressive towards me 4 days ago, why would you feel the need to check in like I don't remember what you said or what you did? People, and see, this is the thing though. This is the thing. People think that just because you don't address something with them, or you don't talk to them about it, you don't confront them about, you know, your observation or feelings, they think that you don't know. And it's like, you can't play me though. And it's like, but this is the thing about emotionally immature people. They always are going to go with their ego, and that's the first thing they think is, oh, well, they don't know. No, I know exactly what you're doing. This is why people sometimes think you're dumb, but little do they know, you're 10 steps ahead of them. And you know, it's so crazy to me because I told his boss that if she ever wanted me to come work in her area, that I would. But would I work with him again? Probably not. I would work at his store, yeah. But like, to be put on as a manager for him? No, probably not. Because you're not going to be passive aggressive with me and think that I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna have a problem later on. Like, I genuinely, like, right now, like, so far in the last couple of days, I like my boss. I think he's cool. We're kind of in the same boat of, like, you know, we're coming in kind of new to certain things, and I think we will work just fine together. So, you know, but I'm telling y'all, people really do take your kindness for weakness. They think that you like you're afraid to stand up for yourself, and it's like, oh no, it's just I'm gonna let you show me who you truly are, and then I'm gonna use my reactions as leverage for myself, because you don't have shit on me. And it's like, that's really what it is. Because, you know, I think I told y'all in my last video, like, the dude was mad at me because I called off because my daughter was sick. And I would usually never call off. I would usually never do that. But for my daughter, yeah. And out of all of the weeks of training, like, you know, my car was messed up. Y'all knew about that too. That's why I was in the hotel rooms. I worked it out with our, you know, with our area managers and stuff, and our regional director and the CEO, you know, like, to have those hotel stays so that I could be there. You know, I gave, you know, my child's father money to for gas so that because he was bringing me back and forth for a week, you know, and that was a good 40-minute drive. So it was a gas guzzler too. My Lord, it was a gas guzzler. But it's like, you know, I did all of those things because I cared about showing up and being there. Because I could have suffered through that, and, like, I could have made my child's father suffer more with having to take me for 5 weeks when it ended up only really being 1 for him. You know, he did have to take me to, like, the hotel and stuff, and, you know, or drop me off, but it wasn't back and forth all day. So it's like I could have made things miserable for both of us, but it's like I worked things out with the right people who came through for me so that I could do this training, so that I could be prepared to step into this role. And I'll just say this, like, you know, this is, like I said, people really trick themselves out of good people, because it's like I said, like, I would go help out at the store, but if they ever asked me to come and, like, work there with them again, I'd probably say, nah, no thanks. There's a couple people there that I really admire and really like and would love to work with again, but for him, no. And it's just like, this is how people be fucking themselves up. And you know, the other thing too is that these people be worried about what you're going to say about them, because they done showed they ass in front of you. Like, so they've shown you who they truly are, and now they're afraid. And sometimes, and I feel like part of him doing that too was him trying to clean up his little shade that he was throwing at me my last day there. He was throwing hella shade, like almost like to a point where he wanted to sabotage me. And it's like, you want to sabotage me and you want to be passive aggressive, and you know, it was just like, and I wasn't the only one who saw it, so it's like the people who were there know exactly what I was talking about too. So it's like, yeah, you think you sit over there and you think about your actions, and they really want you to pay for how they feel about you. And it's like, you don't owe people shit, okay? And like I said, people be tricking themselves out of good people, because later on they you know, because it's like, it was one thing. That's why I'm saying, like, that day that I called off, that was the only day I ever really gave him issues. Now, I did come in late a few times when I was traveling, but everybody comes in late at that job, so it's like, whatever. But it's like, you know, I wasn't very late, you know, maybe 20 minutes at the most when I wasn't driving myself. So it's like, otherwise I was always on time. You know, when I'm at the whim of, you know, someone else dropping me off, that's just the way it worked out. And I always communicated what was going on, so they all knew what was happening. But it's like, but any other time, like, I came in early, I stayed late a lot of times, like, and I told other people, like, hey, you have my number if you need help. I'm in at this time, but just call me and I will come in. And there were a couple times that I did come and save the day. And it's like, all of that went out the window because you had a rough day because I couldn't be there. And it's like, yeah, I don't play games with people like that, and y'all shouldn't either. Like I said, people really be tricking themselves out of good people, playing around with they little bitch ass emotions. Because that's really what it comes down to. Like, you're a child, emotionally. And I mean, he's young, but I really don't feel like age has anything to do with emotional maturity. That's a skill that you have to learn over time, and he just doesn't have it yet. And some people never do. Some people never get there, you know, because it's like, obviously he's old enough to do the job that he's doing. He's like 23 years old, but he's not emotionally mature enough to do it. And a lot of these motherfuckers around in this arena over here is not emotionally mature enough to handle their positions. But that's a different discussion for a different day. But I really want y'all to understand that your kindness is your superpower. And this is why I said that people are whispering your name in rooms, because, you know, because that's when your name is being spoken in rooms that you haven't stepped foot in yet, and there are people there who already have an opinion of you, they are going to try to paint a picture of you. And if you are emotionally reactive to people's nonsense, it's easier for them to paint this negative picture of you. But it's like, if there was only one or two incidences where maybe something happened, and most people are going to be understanding of that. But when people can't get you on, like, they can't catch you slipping, they can't catch you complaining about something, they can't catch you talking shit, like, negatively about someone, calling them out their name and all that other stuff. Because there's a big difference between someone who's talking shit and someone who's telling it like it is. I'm not telling you that someone is lazy just because I'm being mean. If that person was being lazy, that person was being lazy. Like, that's the type of person like I am. I'm not gonna be negatively talking about you. But if I'm talking about someone and they feel some type of way, like, well, I'm just talking about exactly what you did. So if you need to take that up with yourself about your actions, like, whatever. Like, I don't be over here gossiping about people. So, and that's really what people be wanting. They be wanting you to get caught up in that type of negativity, so that they can hang that over your head, and they can tell people like, oh, well, I mean, she's okay, or he's okay, but he bad mouths people, he does this and he does that. And I was telling one of the other employees that I got along with at that location, like, no matter what you're doing, like, don't badmouth people, especially to the higher ups. Like, keep it professional. You know, you can tell them the situation and be like, well, you know, I mean, tell them the truth, but you don't have to put your personal feelings into it. If someone came in that day and didn't do anything, tell them, well, they came in and they didn't really do anything. But that's not talking about that person negatively. That's telling them exactly what happened. They didn't really do anything. You're not calling them out of their name. You're just saying what it is. And if you keep it calm, cute, and collective like that, I promise you'll get ahead in life, because people will respect you more. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I don't like that person's opinion because they XYZ and blah, 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 you know, all this other bullshit or whatever. So, yeah, just keep it cute, guys. Keep it cute. Okay? Keep it cute. They gonna miss out and lose out on you regardless. So, you know, let them people lose out on you. Let them people lose out on having a great person, because one day when they are in need of that energy around them, they know that they can't call on you, because they're gonna remember how they treated you. So let people mistreat you and lose out on you. Let these people believe that your kindness is weakness, and show them how you work. Because I promise you, like I said, like that kindness, the way that you treat people, especially in the career, like in certain job fields, like not every job is like this, but for a lot of people, especially if you're stepping into a new role, you not having drama with other people, you treating everyone well, people being comfortable around you, that is really what a lot of people are looking for right now. A lot of people are looking for leaders and people to come into their spaces and make people feel comfortable, so that people will want to come to work. And that is going to get you further. Okay? That's going to get you further. And the people who be pretending and faking that all that shit, they gon' collapse either way. Like eventually it's going to happen. It's inevitable, whether they like it or not. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm about to go lay down for a minute. I guess I may be going to see Wicked tonight. Not sure. We'll see. But I love y'all. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see you later. Bye.